Sure.
Good.
Hello, everybody.
Good morning, good morning, good after. Okay, can we redo it, please?
That's what we do at the end.
That's what do you do? Yeah,
Yeah, you're
we do that at the
okay.
end.
What are you talking about?
We do the good afternoon, good evening, and good night at the end.
Hello, everybody.
Wait, you wanted to redo it? Let's see what we did.
No, we didn't say. It's not like we.
Hello, everybody.
Welcome to the official 3 Slices of Bread podcast. I'm your host, Jojo, alongside with
Ariel Ben Abraham.
And Eytanel Ben Abraham. Today we have a special guest appearance from Sui.
Hello, I'm Sui.
Yeah, that's Sui.
Okay, there you go. Cut. Until 8th grade. I didn't know that was the thing. Actually, I didn't know that a lot of things until 8th grade.
That's when you.
It's
All
almost
right, so should I introduce it or you guys?
We want you to do it. You know.
Okay. So I guess today I just wanted to talk about personalities and how they link to the parents, and maybe even discuss even childhood traumas or behaviors that might connect to the parents as well.
right.
Yeah.
Good.
All right.
Yeah.
That could be. We could just use that.
Yeah.
All
That's
right.
I have not good points. I always write down a list, but then it's kind of the same thing. Wait, you want to see my list? Oh, it's kind of fugly. My handwriting is kind of ugly, but in this one,
Isn't ugly used to like describe a person?
no.
Yeah.
Fugly? Well,
Yeah.
I say it in every, say if anything's ugly, now I say fugly.
What is
My
it?
handwriting is worse because I can't even read my own handwriting sometimes.
Yeah, same. Well, I mean, actually, no, because like when I write, I need to like get what I have like in my head on the paper quick, so like it just ends up looking like gibberish. But when I actually
Yeah,
take
that's what
my
happens
time,
with me.
when I have to take my time, it actually like looks good.
No,
Alright.
yeah, I usually just draw scenes for comics or something I'm doing, and then that all looks like gibberish. But the rest is like if I have to do for like a school assignment or something in by hand, I do it neatly.
You make comics too?
Yeah, I do like short clips like like by sketching it out, and then I write it on like a Google Docs or something.
Hmm.
So I just have papers filled with just messy stuff.
So, Sui, what made you want to cover this subject?
I don't know, maybe it was because ever since I was small, I always feel like people around me always say that they behave this way because their mother behaved that way before, or their father did this to them. So as they grew older, they started doing it as well. Or kind of like how, you know, the term, whenever I open my mouth, my mother's there or something. Something like that. It's similar, like saying like whenever you talk, it almost comes like from your mother as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. And I always heard that, and I never really understood, because I feel sure you could take some things from your parents, but I don't think that's always what you take. Like I feel like it also is not the only thing, because you can also take things from like people around you more than your parents sometimes. So I was kind of thinking of like how that could go, how we could speak on that.
But you know what's funny? Mine says the opposite. So you say that when growing up, you see people say that they act the way that they act because of their parents. For me, it's different because I have friends that tell me, well, they do act the way that their parents act, but then they say that they don't. They're denying it. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it's the opposite. So, like one of my friend, one of my friends, they would tell me like, oh, well, that person has anger issues, and it's because of their parents. That person denies it though. That person does have it, but then they're denying it
The
because
fact that they do have anger issues, or is connected to their parents?
I guess it's probably just anger towards their parents that they don't want they're denying the fact that they are that person because they don't want to be like their parents.
It also come from like like you said, where like they don't want to end up like their parents, or just a place of I don't think ego is the right word, but like some people don't like to be told that they're like somebody else because they want to do like their own thing, kind of.
Right.
So they kind of reject the idea of there's something else from somebody else in them in a certain way.
Yeah, that makes sense. I always find it just interesting because I feel like it could be like the most like I think understandable point of you know, being like your parent or having some influence from your parents is that you've been with them since you were very little, or, you know, normally. And I feel like you're so small that everything you learn mostly comes from them in some sense, especially when you're small and you don't develop like a sense of other people and, you know, getting other stuff from other people. I feel like it's mainly from your parents in some sense.
Yeah, it's
We see it a lot.
actually mostly from your parents, huh?
You can see it a lot with kids nowadays, where sometimes it could go the other way, where they act a certain way because the parent isn't them. You know, like when like let's say a girl doesn't have a father figure, she's not gonna know what a good guy figure is, and she's gonna assume that she could speculate in all types of ways where like she isn't like good enough to have a dad, she isn't good enough to have a good boyfriend, she isn't good enough to have a good guy friend, so she's gonna naturally go searching for that type of person to be attracted to that type of person. And same could go with for guys with their mother.
Yeah,
Yeah.
your parents are usually the people that you look up to most of your life, if not your whole life. Depends on the scenario, but they are the people that are guiding you through life and being there for you, hopefully. Again, I'm not speaking for everyone because I know that everyone has their own situations and different journeys, but they are your guiders and protectors, and they are your parents. They're who look after you, who brought you into the world, and that's already special. The fact of the connection you guys have in between together. So there is reasoning behind like how you would look similar to your parents. Like I get a lot how I look a lot like my father. So it also has to do with the looks and the genetics, but so much as so is the habits. The habits of what your parents do and how they do it kind of dominoes off to you because you are well, I'm with my parents every single day and I spend time with them as much as I can and I learn as much as I can from them because I know the experience that they've had and I try to at least grasp and absorb like a sponge to kind of see how they deal with their stuff in their unique ways because again you don't for me I don't want to copy exactly what they do because that's them. Some people have this thing where they try to go exactly into the footsteps of their parents, which, you know, I'm sure you've seen like movies or shows. And from what it looks like, it's like leading to somewhere that is not who they are. They're repeating the same thing as what the person that they look up to does.
Also, it's almost impossible for them to fully follow the footsteps of the parents' life.
Yeah, that's
Like,
what they
life is always different for everyone,
Like you
and
can't
no
make it
same incidents are always going to happen.
like you can't make it your ambition to be somebody else, you know? With
That
hmm?
No, I was just agreeing with you.
uh,
I was saying that as well. Yeah.
like Ariel, what Ariel said, it's the reason why we have them is to learn from them, take their take what they know, take their knowledge, and grow somewhere else with it. Take that and go somewhere else with it. Still using it because you know you're definitely gonna need it. The things that my mom and dad have taught me have helped me with things that have nothing to do with them in their life. There's like, and also because it could be that comfort zone of like let's say your dad's in construction, you want to get into construction because you know that you know what construction is, you know all that, so it's just like sort of a comfortable place, and maybe your passion is construction, maybe your father did you give you that you know passion, so it's just there's a lot of ways you can look at it.
Yeah, I think I would agree with that. I feel like sometimes my comfort zone, as I just realized, it's not really my comfort zone, it's just something I found that my parents like as well, that I started getting into, was like food in general. Like my mom's a pastry chef and my father does kombucha. So I took interest in the similar section as they did. So I took fermentations. So I constantly make beet kvass or ginger bug and all those types of things to constantly like I just find it enjoyable. It's one of the most enjoyable things I've done so far. And, you know, I never thought I'd get into it, but I did. And I feel like that comes from my parents as well.
Also I wanted to say that I'm not sure where I heard this from, but there's a saying where it's like you you receive the love you think you deserve. I'm pretty sure that's how it goes. If you were given a lot of love by your parents, you're naturally going to want that love from somebody else. You're going to want that, strong connection. If you were treated badly with no love, you're going to look for that connection. And if you weren't given anything, then you're not going to know what you want, and you're not really going to go anywhere. I met a lot of people who keep jumping from person to person, each of them equally different from the other, because they don't know what they want. It's like I think it's like trying to fill a hole in a certain way. So there's just a lot for people to realize and accept, and not to run away from it.
Yeah, and I think it takes, well, it depends on how you want to see it as, because some people can grow up with not so good parents, but then they still turn out to be very good people because they choose to be, in every situation. Again, like I think it was last episode I said it. In every situation, you've either choose to be a victim and make your life more miserable and hate everything, or you just learn to accept it and grow. And your childhood is a really big thing for you to grow from, and all the trauma and everything. You kind of have to go back to it, and so like little habits you have. What's an example? I care a lot of what other people think because when I was younger, my parents changed. Okay, I love my parents. My parents changed a lot. They're completely different now, and I'm very grateful for them. But when I was younger, I'm scared to talk sometimes because I feel like people don't want to hear what I have to say. Because when I was younger, my parents are very focused on their work and whatever. So I didn't have much, I didn't know when or when not to express myself, So growing up, I didn't know how to express myself and I didn't want to bother people. And that's something that a lot of children need. They love a lot of children just loves to be curious and talk. So if you're young, when you're younger and you don't have a parent to listen to you, you grow up scared to communicate with other people. And that was me for a little bit until I learned how to stop being the victim and accept it and accept what happened and use it as a growth. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I had an opposite situation for me because as a child, my parents and I would speak so much. I was a very active child. I would constantly speak, like I was crazy with speech. But as I grew older and I started going to school, people, they don't sometimes they don't like what you say, or they think you're very dumb for saying specific things, or they don't understand that's things from you. I think that kind of hid me in some way, like hid my speech. Like I didn't want to communicate in specific opinions and stuff. And I think that's what the school usually does. They don't want you to share an opinion on specific things. So as I got used to not sharing my opinions on specific, like, situations and all conversations, I found myself finding it harder to speak with my parents on those terms also, or more like self-conscious with what I say. And now that I like go to TSC, I think TSC helped me, but also like myself learning like, oh, I need to learn how to speak more. I think, I grew from that.
Would you say that at the beginning when you were comfortable, like you were living, like you were very truthful with you and your parents, like they were always very truthful with you?
I would say so in some sense. It depends what we mean exactly by truthful, but I feel like, yeah. Do you think you can explain a bit?
Like whenever they would tell you something, you knew it was true, like they came from a place of truth. Well, they would be honest with you, they would tell you.
Oh yeah, that's for sure. Yeah, I think even from like myself or like how we would respond to things, because yeah.
So that, like, do you think when you went to school and you saw all these people, you took everything with sort of a grain of truth, and that sort of what kind of shut you down?
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like especially children from such a young, like 8-year-olds, they're just a disaster when you go to school. They're not truthful at all. And I feel like that shattered my whole like identity, especially since that made me have so many regrets as I grew older. Like it kind of affected my growth in some sense also. A lot of situations I've been put in because the students were untruthful in those like specific, or like they were, they weren't, they made my life very bad at some point.
So you feel like that whole kind of thought process is started outside from your house, like from your home?
I think at one point, yeah. I feel like it's kind of complicated because there's always going to be like ups and downs with your parents as well. Like you're always going to end up getting an argument as a child with your parents. So I feel like perhaps, I don't know, it depends like what, but I know my parents, the thing is like I always knew my parents loved me also. You know, they're never gonna hate me. And I feel like that comes differently with students because students, they know they hate you sometimes. And you know, I don't necessarily agree with that, but I feel like the parents, they always constantly tell you, we will always love you no matter what happens and such. So I always took that, you know, I always knew they were gonna always love me no matter what happened. But it always changed when I got to like school. And then I started doubting myself about their love. And which was, you know, I shouldn't have done that, but that happened at one point.
I always learned that talking is definitely the best thing you could do with anybody. Well, I mean, somebody that you trust to, with that information. But definitely talking, I underestimated that. So if you ever do feel like you're getting in your head too much and you're just sort of just like stabbing yourself in a certain way, just talk to somebody.
Yeah, I agree. And I've luckily like grown from overthinking because I used to be a very big daydreamer. And I used to think so much, especially like I think when I was 12, it was a disaster that whole year. Um, but as I grew and I would talk with my dad about these things more than my mother. I would speak with my dad about these things because I felt like he was more of a calm person and he wouldn't like my mother would get very you know expressive when it came to like a situation where I was very, you know, upset of. So I always felt more comfortable talking with my dad because he was a little more calm. And he would always tell me to stop thinking, not like stop thinking, but like stop overthinking. Like because it makes you feel terrible, especially. So we would like, you know, work on how I could like get better at like not over assuming or overthinking and all those things. And it helped me in the end. And I feel like I'm a much better person now than I was when I was 12.
Yeah, all my overthinking was in 8th grade. Most of the things that I dealt with, like overthinking, trust issues, or just friendship, all that stuff was all in 8th grade. But then, yeah, and then after that, in 9th grade, I was in TSC, I was homeschooled. And then, it gave me time to get myself together and learn more about myself. So, yeah.
I think that the most I ever overthought, like I was overthinking was probably like last year. I could only think before that was I don't really know what I was doing. Like when you know that thing where like you're in a situation and you just can't think, you're just sort of you're very spaced out, so just do whatever. So that was just basically what I was doing every day. And then huh?
Just spacing out.
Yeah, just and then not like just like sitting there like doing something, like not doing anything. I mean just not thinking about what I was doing and then just doing. Just not being very conscious of what I was doing.
Oh, okay.
And then I started to think more about certain things, and then I started to overthink about certain things, and then a whole bunch of stuff about self-worth. Like self-worth. That's also a good subject to talk about.
Mhm.
But have you ever had that like when you're walking into a room, you got to know that you're the most important person in the room.
Mhm.
You know, you gotta know that. You can't just tell yourself
To
that.
yourself though.
Yeah,
right?
to yourself. That's you and yourself. You're the most important person in that room. I don't want that to come off like as an ego way. I'm just saying because you're supposed to care for yourself. Well, at that time it was the opposite. I thought I was like the least important person in the room all the time. So I'd always try to put people above myself. It's just, and that all that happened, this whole mess was just because I was thinking too much. So when it comes to everything, you always got to find a little gray area with what you do and how you do it.
Yeah, I had a similar situation when I was 12 also. I was self-conscious of myself, so I hated myself at some point. Not hated, but like I was very like embarrassed of who I was. So like we would go to the talent show. Every time after, I would rewatch the talent show and I would think I was the worst performer. Or, you know, I would enter a room and I would be like, I was so terrible when I spoke like that.
Yeah. Okay. Never making that mistake again. We're not recording. We talked for like 30 minutes or something, and then it wasn't recording.
That's just embarrassing. That's sad.
Oh my God, it's almost Christmas. I'm just kidding. I love Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we don't celebrate it much because, I'm in Hawaii and it's just me and my parents. No one else.
Uh,
My
yeah,
family.
me too. Okay, I just do mean my parents.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just make a little a big dinner. We don't celebrate it. We just like the idea of having a big dinner, and that's it. Yeah, I think I never had a Christmas tree. That's the thing with me. I never had a Christmas tree.
I had it once. I think yeah, once. It's in Idaho.
Oh, I had a best friend who lived next door to me, and only twice had she had a Christmas tree. It was with her brother, and it was I don't know. Everyone was obsessed with it. They were, oh, it's green.
I mean, it's a Christmas tree. So
Yeah, I think they still.
Mhm.
I don't know why. I like the smell of Christmas trees.
I like the smell of books, new books. Have you do you go
Oh,
to the bookstore and smell books?
well, yeah, I don't know why I'm obsessed with the bookstore smell.
Me too.
I'm not obsessed with library smell. I'm obsessed with bookstore smell
Mhm.
because it's all new, you know,
Mhm.
all new. Yeah, I remember I was obsessed. There was a bookstore I went to that had like a huge like, oh wow, that's nice. What is it?
You make it?
No, 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 no. I stole it.
Have some? Like, send some over. Send some over. I'll give you my address. Those look good.
It'll get there in about two work days.
Swim faster. Oh, you know what smells good? What's it called? The hardware stores. Those smells good.
The wood there.
Yeah. Just the store in general. When you go in, it smells like.
Mhm.
Yeah, I had friends who liked gasoline, like the smell.
Oh yeah. I don't like it.
I like old car smell.
Old car smells? I
Old
don't
car smells.
I
And
had a
grass.
know.
who had an old like 1970s Mercedes Benz, and he never used it. It was just sitting in front of our house.
Oh no, spill.
You know how much you could sell that for?
Yeah, he knew. I don't know. He had 5 cars, all in different places. He had one in Argentina, or actually 2 in Argentina, one in Miami, one in New York, and like one other place. And like he never used them. Only for like if he had a date with someone or something. I don't know.
Mhm.
What are you drinking?
Wine.
Wine. That's either grape juice or pomegranate juice
Mm,
or raspberry juice.
I've had a long day, Ariel.
I know you're lying because I heard you from the other
What was it then?
room.
Ooh,
Pomegranate
good.
juice.
Raw. No,
I was talking about.
Raspberry.
we were talking about I have a long day and I just need to, it's the wine.
You know how I know you're lying is because you don't drink wine with a straw.
How do you know I don't do that?
People actually do.
No, they don't. People don't drink wine.
Want to be a person that in the world who does drink wine with a straw, okay? There has to be one person.
Me.
One person.
It's
Yeah,
me.
Jojo.
One person is me.
Eytanel,
More. I'm gonna get more. It's no more.
can I see the bottle? The wine bottle? Jolie says she's drinking wine, but I hardly disbelieve that.
She's drinking wine right now. All right, look at that. Look at that. Oh,
What is it?
it's food.
What's that white thing? It's the gold. I'd be surprised if it tastes really good.
I got more. It's good.
Okay, that's not.
Let me see.
It's too see-through.
Well, let me see.
It's also too pink if you think about it.
Yeah,
Orange
Jolie,
is pink.
You have ice in it. Oh,
Oh, because I like it cold.
okay, but it's supposed to be in the fridge. You genius.
Yeah, but that doesn't necessarily mean there's no ice. You
Like
can't
it.
use ice.
I like it extra cold. It was in the fridge. Yeah, I
How
don't
about you ship that, and I'll just make sure it's.
trade. We trade. Yeah, you ship whatever you're eating, and then I'll ship this. Oh, this is so good. I'm just probably really thirsty, but
Actually, it makes sense that Jolie would be thirsty if she's drinking wine because I think wine usually makes you thirsty. So I think that's kind of correlates with it.
Wait.
All right, no, I'm not.
I have a plan.
I feel like goes along with it though. Yeah, I think so. I think that's the case. That's
She
the case.
paid you this in that.
That's too dark.
you guys
Hold on.
talked about this before. We talked about this before.
Can you show it to me again?
And I asked you guys know what it is, and you guys took like forever to guess, so I just told you guys anyways.
I guess like the first try, you just kept asking.
No,
I remember the last time she brought this up.
Yeah, this is that's not wine.
I know she's saying it's not wine.
Oh, okay.
it is wine. Look at it.
Mm.
It's lighter because
What year wine is it? Because you saw the bottle, right?
oh, no, my mom threw it away,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't remember it. I'm not gonna look at it. It's already May 13th.
Yeah, it's almost his birthday. Sorry to say that.
What?
It's almost the
Okay.
it's almost half the year already.
What are you gonna do for your birthday, dude?
Oh, you're talking about me?
Yeah, they're really cool.
Can you come over for my birthday? Or come for your birthday? You can be a trip to Hawaii over here. I'll be
Trip to Hawaii. Why not?
How about we do this? Actually, that's a good idea.
Right.
I don't know why, but I feel like when we meet your parents, we're gonna get like so along with your parents that we're just gonna like be hanging out with them.
I don't know.
It's not true.
Maybe my dad. He's like he looks scary, but he's a really nice person.
Yeah, no, I could tell he's very sweet.
Too. He's very scary looking, but he's very nice.
Mm-hmm. Reminds me of our uncle Marcelo.
My mom is just shy. She's just a very shy person.
He's also very nice.
Yeah,
So, what's your favorite movie? I don't know if I've asked that.
My favorite movie?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I have a few. I really like psychological thrillers and stuff.
What was the name?
I like Perfect Blue. I think it's an anime. I really liked it. It's old. I think it's from the 90s.
Oh.
And I really like what's another one I like? I don't know. I like Snowpiercer or Parasite. Two are fun. Yeah, I really like that.
The Korean dude.
Huh?
That Korean dude made that.
Yeah. I really like that one. I don't know, kind of in that genre. I used to be really into comedies from the like old comedies, but I don't know.
Like Beverly Hills Cops.
No.
What?
So, I think more I was interested in I really liked Gene Wilder when I was younger.
wow.
So I saw a ton of movies with him and I read his autobiography. So I was kind of like a very big.
What is his name? He was in a movie called Doctor Strangelove.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, that's right.
No, not Gene Wilder. It's the.
Oh, no. Yeah, no. He was I think
He was also the Pink Panther.
no, that's Peter Sellers.
Yeah, that's Steve. Yeah, Steve Sellers. That's the guy.
Peter Sellers, yeah. No, Peter Sellers was one of the and yeah, Gene Wilder acted in a lot of movies with I think Richard Pryor. I think that was the name. But yeah, so they have like similarities like that. You were gonna say something, Jolie, and I think I interrupted you.
I won't remember. I do not remember.
Oh wait, so what was the question you forgot and then you remembered that you were gonna ask?
Oh, it wasn't a question. It was just something. It was an add-on to what you said.
Oh, what was
Hold
it?
on. I still want to get my answer though. What were you drinking?
It's wine. I told you.
I could tell it's not wine because look at Sui's reaction when you say it.
I'm sorry, I react to everything.
No, because you don't believe me. It is wine. Look at it. I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna hold it like that. I'm gonna drop it on accident.
Did you put something in it?
Yeah, ice.
And sugar. That's why it looks whiter.
Mm-hmm.
You need a sweetener for wine.
Yeah. I should probably start talking because you have to eat dinner. I don't want you to
It's
stop.
okay.
What was that
Wait,
guy?
how long did we talk about? Because that was pretty good.
Yeah, I think so too. But I don't think it was that long though.
Here? That was not long.
If you need to go, then it's okay.
No. I don't need to go yet. I
Oh.
have 20 minutes. It's okay. I have 20 minutes. I have time.
What else do we need to say?
No, just anything else. Oh, I have one thing.
Okay, what is it?
Okay, so earlier, Sui, you were talking about, actually, I can't remember specifically, but you were saying something how when you were little, your parents tell you that they care for you and that they love you. And I think in some like I said, my parents changed, so they do say it now. But when I was younger, my parents never said "I love you" to me. So that's why whenever people say I love you to me now, it's kind of weird, you know? But their I love yous are like giving me or feeding me. Like they would make the best, like they don't say I love you, but they make the best meals. That's their I love
They
you.
show that they love you in some sense.
Yeah. And growing up, I didn't know that as a kid because I just because my parents didn't say that. So I would assume that they didn't, or I just questioned it. And actually, there's a lot more than that, more to that, but I don't really want to mention it yet. But I think, what am I even getting at? There was something that I wanted to say, but I don't remember.
Do your parents express their love towards you more with actions than words?
Yeah, but
Is that like what you were trying to?
kind of. Yeah. I think that's it. Okay, thank you. So yeah, my parents expressed their love for me and my siblings with actions over words. And as a kid, I didn't understand that, as much as I do now. And I appreciate it more now because now that I understand that, actions are, what is that phrase? Actions are better than
Louder
words.
than words. Speak
Hmm?
louder.
Yeah. I felt like my parents didn't love me in a way, so that's why as I was growing, I didn't feel as close to my parents as I do now. And now my parents actually say I love you, and we actually have conversations, which when I was little, I didn't think that we would have conversation, talking, like, or if I need anything, I'll go to them now. But I feel like I'm a lot closer to them now that I'm older, and they've changed. They've changed a lot.
Well,
Yeah.
because the reason why it mattered to you more for them to say I love you more than to show when you were young is because that's what you really knew. Like, if you're, how old were you, would you say, when you were young?
All
Like
all the way
5?
up until 13. Yeah, 14.
Like, people can show that they love you, but I think you won't really know until they tell you. Because if somebody loves you, they're gonna tell you that they love you.
It's just
Well,
like sometimes it's weird. Like I'm no, but that actually makes me into a person that loves more. So when I was little, I didn't get I felt like I didn't get much love from my parents, but now that kind of makes me want to love people more because I don't want people to feel unloved, But for some people, they might take it another way and they might just shut out everyone. So I guess it depends on like I said on the other episode that we all have situations and we choose our path.
I was just gonna say it's not like in the same level, but I did have a moment where I wasn't like with mistakes of like vocal. I was more with I'm very clumsy. So I would either like I used to break a lot of things by accident. Like if my mom helped me to do a thing, I would do it wrong. And usually I would get yelled at. I got yelled at a lot as a child. Um just because I was very clumsy or I would do something wrong or I would, all those things. And I think that just I always like don't want to do something specifically because I know I'll do it wrong. Because all the yelling kind of made me think that I would do it wrong in some sense. But it's not very similar to what you were saying, Jojo, but I was just I just thought of that when you were saying that.
Do what?
is there anything from the past, like our mom or dad did that you notice affects you in a certain way now?
To this day, like it's
Yeah,
very
yeah.
the freedom and the free will that they gave us, the freedom of choice that they gave us, that really helped us a lot. And it it wasn't like we were going blindly because they were helping us, like they were guiding us while we were looking for the choices. So that's one very big thing.
Do you think it affected you negatively in some sense or just mostly positively that it helped you a lot?
Well, if you look at it in the long run, it was very, very positive. But if you look at it like by little points of the journey, then some of the things could be negative because there are times like even now where I'd be lazy to do something and I'm trying to cut that out. Like to this day, I'm still trying to cut out the whole lazy thing because it is quote unquote the easier option, but
Yeah.
that's just in the moment. If you look at it in the moment, that's kind of the easier. But if you look at it in the long run, that is the easier option. If you want
Right. It's
make
kind of like if you had a choice whether to do your bed or not, you would choose no because just the thought about it would take too long, but when you actually do it, it's it's nothing. It's not. It doesn't take any time, and it's much better to sleep in a made bed than unmade bed in some sense.
Yeah, I agree with you.
How much longer do we have on the call?
I think it's only 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay. So we have time. Okay, for the story of Mark Jacobs. So one day, me and my friends, we walked very far to this all-you-can-eat place because we wanted to have an all-you-can-eat place, and they were selling these. They were giving away these lobsters for free. I think I told Jolie about the story of Mark Jacobs before.
Yeah.
Now, we really liked the way the lobster looked.
Wait, were they real lobsters or fake
Real,
lobsters?
real lobsters, real lobsters.
Why would
They
they
were
be selling lobsters?
Because
For
it was part of the all-you-can-eat. They just give it.
Oh, okay, I see.
So we took a lobster. We cleaned him in the restroom, and like a bunch of people just walked in, and like a bunch of kids cleaning a lobster.
Wait,
And then-
wait, what did you clean the lobster with? Wait, you went into the public
the sink.
bathroom and you just cleaned it with water and all that?
Yeah. We gave him yeah, and then we wrapped him in napkins, and then we walked out of the store, and it was an expensive place. Like we used up all of them, and then we left, and then we just kind of carried around a lobster for the rest of the day. And when we went to a Toys R Us, we played catch with him, and then my friend threw him too hard, and I didn't want to get like hit by Mark Jacobs, so I just let him go, and I kind of just slapped him.
You named the lobster.
Mark Jacobs, yeah, because
Yeah, you didn't mention that. I was like, wait, so it's the lobster Mark Jacob?
yeah,
Wait, it was alive?
yeah, and
Oh,
then
it was alive? You didn't tell me it was alive.
yeah, and then I got scared, so I slapped him because I didn't want to like get hit by him on accident. No, I didn't mean to slap him. I just kind of
No, yeah, I think that's an instinct, yeah.
yeah, and then he fell, and then he died on the
Yeah, I would expect it's a lobster. It probably hit the ground and broke or something.
And then we just kind of we covered him with Lego sets, and then we just kind of left him.
You left
the Toys R Us?
Yeah, he's still at the Toys R Us.
Some janitor to find and like sweep up, or
yeah, they're just gonna find Mark Jacobs.
You didn't bury him or anything. You just left.
Did you make like a funeral out of the Legos to just?
No, we just kind of left him.
Oh, okay.
We did another thing that was kind of stupid, but so it was like pitch black, and this always happens. We always stay out until like really dark. Then we had to get back home, but we barely could see anything, and all we could really see was the cars passing by on the road. We like every now and then we just run across the road to like because we needed to get back to the house because my dad was coming. But me and my friend are like there. We're on the other side of the road. We're safe, and then we see like 3 of our friends doing like jumping jacks and doing push-ups in the middle of the road because they thought it was a good idea. And
yeah, such a good idea. You might get hit by a car, but it's a great idea.
And then they all run. They're laughing and they run back to us. And then we noticed my friend, while he did push-ups, his $200 pair of sunglasses fell on the road. So we had to wait, and we'd had to hope while the cars were driving by that they didn't run over the glasses. And then he had to run back over and grab the glasses.
Yeah,
and then we did it a few more times. What do you call it? While we were walking, my friend threw a glass bottle at somebody's house. So then we had to run because his stupid idea. And he did that a few times. And then we eventually got back home.
It still reminds me of when I was younger, how I went with my friend to a bank for my mom to get like, I don't know what she was doing. And my friend and I went into one of those cubicles where they had the computers and stuff. And we opened like the email and we just found a random person to write an email to. And we just like spammed the letters on it and then sent it and then ran away. I don't know. That just reminds me of that. Yeah, I don't know. It's a very fond memory of my life. I always remember it nice.
So he basically how old were you? He just got ghosted like by 11 years old?
No, that was when I was like 5, probably.
Oh wow.
I didn't know how to write. I just went into the computer.
All right, that's it for today's video. Thank you, Sui, for joining. I really enjoyed it, and I really hope that you could. No, I really enjoyed it actually. If today it was a good episode. I know it was good. Okay, thank you for joining. Thank you for watching, and hope you guys have a good day, all of you and the audience. And thank you.
Bye.